Both of us were raised Catholic, but never heard about it until we were in college.
I think it was our freshman year at college. Christopher West came to the parish and gave a series of talks for one day, sort of a mini conference on the teaching of theology of the body. And our minds were kind of blown away by it.
It was like a light in the darkness to know that what we felt and thought was actually good and that there was a purpose for it.
Absolutely, especially in a college culture kind of surrounded by a cultural darkness. This was a bright, shining light, saying that, your sexual desires are good and they're intended for a purpose. And that purpose is within marriage, procreation, and it's a unitive act. And so these things are good and they're not something to be ashamed of, but they're to be directed to a particular purpose. And so there was a freedom and a redemption in that, whereas previously, I think most of our experiences in trying to handle this was colored by shame, by trying to keep it in the darkness. I think that's something that our widespread culture kind of forces upon us. It's either shame or the complete other end of abandon. And as we're discerning having more children, it requires us to talk about it regularly. And so we're constantly aware of, where each of us is in terms of our discernment and our desire and our thoughts on the matter. And that has benefits to, the children that we already have as well, certainly, because it frames our minds so that we can focus on what is best for our family.
One of the benefits, as a woman, it's empowering because I know what's going on in my body. It's not like, why is this happening? Or feel that way. It's very laid out. I understand what's going on.
Within the sacrament of marriage, I'm called to love you and to honor you.
You do.
And thank you. And to honor you in your totality, spirit and body. And practicing NFP and talking about, the signs that are going on and where we are in our fertility cycle, it definitely helps me to honor the sacredness of your body. And that's awesome. I think there's misconceptions that it's difficult, it's repressive. I remember when we first took an NFP class, I was trying to interpret this chart and it looked like there was this very small window of time in which we would not become pregnant. And so this is before we're married, and I'm thinking, geez, that doesn't seem good. I don't think I'm down for this. But as you learn it together, and you communicate and you cooperate as a couple, you realize that that's not the case. That it is, as we said before, freeing and joyful and unitive. Even when not engaging in the unitive act, we're united as a couple, attuned to each other's needs, attuned to each other's desires. And if we are going through a period in which we are choosing to abstain to avoid pregnancy, then it actually helps us to be more creative in different ways to express our love for each other. And it's not a teaching that exists by itself. It's not isolated, it's not in a vacuum. It's one piece of the puzzle of the Church's teachings, and in the grand mystery of God's plan. Understanding, different little component pieces individually, you start to be able to view the entire tapestry of how God has ordained our lives to be lived. And there's beauty in that, tremendous beauty, tremendous truth. And when you step back and look at the big picture, you're just awestruck. And so trying to live our lives faithfully in this manner has helped our corporate, our shared, and our individual faith lives as well. It's drawn us deeper into the mystery of God's love and His plan for us.